What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here for the Law and Order edition of today's video. Panini has come out swinging, I guess, and are suing Fanatics and some of the employees that recently left over the fact that they left to go to Fanatics, trying to stop Fanatics from hiring more Panini employees out from underneath them. Saw this on Action News Network and also Paul Lesko on Twitter. We'll kind of bounce between the two. Darren Ravel posted this story this afternoon, and then I shouldn't say our friend, I don't know him personally, but friend of the hobby, Paul Lesko, has a very good tweet thread here about the whole situation, kind of running it down. We don't know the full details yet as things start to emerge, but essentially Panini got pissed because, and I didn't realize I knew it was a lot of people. I didn't realize it was this much. It was 13% of Panini's workforce has gone over to Fanatics in recent months. You know, we talked about this the last couple weeks about a slew of upper management people heading over there, and Panini filed a lawsuit trying to stop this. And basically the court said, sorry about your luck. They did put some restrictions in place. We'll talk about those when we flip over to the Lesko side of things. But 7 people in high-ranking management positions have recently been poached by Fanatics alongside 27 others in this piece by Ravel. It also goes to comment in here that Panini has tried to keep these people, and they basically said no, offering them more money, more incentives, and packages to stay. And the grass is still greener on the other side with Fanatics. Not surprising. I have to imagine they are paying way more than what Panini does, and they are probably also seeing the writing on the wall. Let's be honest. We all know where this is headed, and these people would know even better than we would out here in the outside world speculating on all this nonsense. If those people are like, nah, you could keep your raise, I'm out, I think that kind of tells you all you need to know. And also, in my opinion, this seems like a real petty look and a desperate act from Panini to kind of go down this route. I don't really know what they hoped to accomplish by this. I mean, I don't know if they have. Clearly, they must not have a non-compete clause. If they were in violation of that, you would think this would be pretty clear cut. And that doesn't seem to be the case here. So you would think, what leg do they really have to stand on here? This is just kind of a black eye all the way around. Lesko gets into a little bit of details here. Once again, if you're not following Paul Lesko on Twitter and you kind of enjoy the hobby drama nonsense, you should definitely be giving him a follow. He always has really good information on things. So he kind of lays out here. It talks about they can't use any. This was in a temporary restraining order that did come down. The employees named in the complaint, you could see that above, and it was the recent high-ranking people that left around the Mint Collective. They can't use any trade secrets or confidential information, and they have to turn over any Panini stuff they have in their possession. The big one here that Lesko points out is that they can't delete anything. Basically, it sounds like Panini wants to know, did any of these people recruit people after they left? He points out that this is in this tweet here, because it does appear Panini might allege that former employees recruited other Panini employees improperly, used Panini's trade secrets, or contacted athletes/agents that they should not have. So, interesting times. Lots of fun drama on this one. It's just at the temporary restraining order stage. So this basically has a long way to go, essentially. But just interesting that they would even come out and do this. Seems like a strat. Once again, I am no lawyer at all. This is just me giving my 2 cents as an idiot on the sidelines that has watched every episode of the original Law and Order and the OG ones, especially with Lenny Briscoe episodes, probably anywhere from 5 to 10 times a piece over my 40 some years on this planet. I will get sucked into a Law and Order marathon with the best of them. I don't care how many times I've seen the episode. So that is my legal knowledge here. This just seems like super desperation on Panini. It really does. It just feels like not a great look. Not going out with class. I mean, I guess do whatever you can to try to save your business and keep whatever leverage that you have. Between this and everything else going on, it just really feels like their days are indeed numbered, as they are just getting squeezed from every single different angle, internally, externally, at the printing press, at the, just all of it. They are just getting absolutely squeezed, either to be forced into sell in the Fanatics or to just die on the vine, basically. It feels like it's heading one of two paths. Either they're going to break down and sell some of these pieces and parts off to Fanatics, if that's not already in the works. We've talked about Fanatics making basketball cards this upcoming season with no real details on what that means. But Panini's either going to sit there and ride this thing out and milk it for all that it's worth, or they could take the check in the bag if it's even still there. And I have to imagine that if it is even still, if there is an offer on the table, I have to imagine every day that goes by, that number just ticks lower on whatever it is or whatever the different avenues are in regards to whether it's, and like I said, I think and no inside information here, this is just the vibes that I get. It feels like Fanatics just outright acquiring Panini. Feels like it's kind of, that's past us. I do think that there's still probably some smoke to the whole, like, could they acquire the licenses early? Could something like that still go down? Sure. But literally every day it just feels like the offer gets less and less. And why wouldn't it? Because the pressure continues to build. And then you see stuff like this come out and it just looks way, way worse. And on the flip side of things, for the average person in the hobby / sports card collector or whatever, you might not think that this stuff matters that much, but we talked about it a lot in the past. Panini could do a lot of damage on its way out the door if it really wants to. You could argue that they already have. And once again, to flip it around, I'm not saying that Fanatics is going to be sunshines, kittens, and rainbows that, and kumbaya, and we're all going to love each other. We're going to hate them too at some point in time. They're going to get on our nerves with something. But we also can't deny that Panini has not been fantastic the last few years and have definitely seemed like they've had a case of senioritis since this news kind of came out with Fanatics coming into the space. With the increased print runs, the quality control feeling like it's gone down, the laziness of the new products, since COVID really, and them kind of using that as an excuse. We still have massive delays. Flawless basketball with the 2021 class is not out yet. We are in the playoffs of the 2022 season. 2022 Prism just came out, and we are still releasing product from the previous year with Evan Mobley and Cade Cunningham. That Flawless set has not come out yet. Flawless is traditionally the last set that comes out. I think it comes out this week or next week or in a couple weeks. It might even be May. It might not be until May when that comes out. We still do not have all the 2021 product, and we are in 2023. And I know Upper Deck with hockey has a bunch of nonsense going on with how late they are on their releases. I don't follow that at all, so I can't get into specifics because I just don't know it. But it's a mess. And the best part is it's been delayed all this time, and it's not like you're going to get player worn or even game used jerseys out of that product. Traditionally, Flawless would come out late because it would be the one product or one of the products that had game used autographed RPAs in it almost exclusively. And then since the pandemic, or not even since the pandemic, even before that, it kind of tilted away from it. But that stuff doesn't even have that anymore. And it's like, it's released this late. You had plenty of time to get real jerseys if you wanted to, but they don't want to. It's just cheaper and easier to go to Wally World and grab an Evan Mobley jersey off the shelf. Plus, just with all the other nonsense going on with them, it just feels like they are in full-blown senioritis mode. It is mid-May. The clock is approaching on graduation day. They got all their credits, and they are just in cruise control mode. So we'll see what happens. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of updates to come on this one. But this just seems wild. Just once again, just a pure. It feels like an act of desperation out of Panini at this point. So curious for your thoughts and comments. As always, down below. Are you ready for our Fanatics overlords, or will you be sad to see Panini go? We'll catch you, boys and girls, on the next one. Peace.